I'm Ron with Gourmet Kitchenworks. Today we're going to be making a vegetable fritter, and we'll be using a few tools to do that. We'll be using a mandolin that does nice thin slices. We'll be using a regular peeler and a julienne peeler, which has some teeth in here that makes it into nice thin strips. In addition, we'll be using the Spirelli spiral slicer. Gourmet products have been around for 70 years, made in Germany, very high quality, and we'll be using them to demonstrate making the food today. Thanks.
Okay, now first step in making the vegetable fritters, we're going to have potatoes, carrots, zucchini, yellow squash, and onions, and we need to julienne all of them. The potatoes, because they are not long and tubular, we cannot use the Spirelli. So we're going to use a Gourmet product called the Streisica, which is like a peeler, only it will give you little julienne strips. And this is the Streisica. And so I sadly should not have chosen such small potatoes, but you can see that I went ahead and julienne potatoes ahead of time. And so with the Streisica, we can put in the potatoes. For the tubular vegetables, it's much easier to use the Spirelli. And in this case, again, there's a thicker side and a thinner side. I'm going to choose the thinner side. If you haven't seen this Spirelli, this is basically like a giant pencil sharpener for vegetables. So we can put in zucchini, yellow squash, carrots, daikon radish, and in a very short amount of time you can have julienne strands of those vegetables that you have put in. Okay, and we're going to also julienne some yellow squash. Now when choosing carrots, to put in the Spirelli, you want to choose larger, try to find the largest carrots you can find, because they seem to work the best. And if you're going to use the Spirelli for cucumbers, you want to choose English cucumbers that don't have a bunch of seeds. I'm just stopping it because it seems that we have quite a bit here. And then you can see we can put, this is the biggest carrot I could find in our stores. So obviously the larger diameter, the more quickly you can have Spirelli vegetables. But you can still see how easily and quickly you can get long strands of vegetables. Okay, now also for this vegetable fritter, we're going to have to use the mandolin, and you can just use it with this plain bottom plate. You can put in this, well, they have two other ones. I'm going to choose this one because it's the smallest of the different ones. And you got it. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. It has different there's a dial here, and you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 1 is very, very fine. 5 is pretty thick. And it comes with a safety handle to protect your hands. And you would definitely want to use that because it is super, super sharp. So there we have some onions. Now the next step is, so you have 1 carrot, 1 zucchini, 1 potato, and then with that you're going to put 2 teaspoons of salt, and you're going to let that sit for about 15 minutes. And you're going to be getting the water to drain out of all the vegetables. So we will stop our camera and resume after the time. Okay, the next step for making the vegetable fritters, we've julienned our vegetables and we've let them sit sit with some salt to draw the water out for about 10-15 minutes. Now we're going to try to squeeze the water out. So put it into a colander and actually squeeze the water out to get rid of it. This will make it easier when we go to the next step, so it doesn't, the water won't mix with the eggs and dilute. Okay, the next step is to mix it with eggs. And so we want to put 2 eggs in a bowl and whisk them. I'm going to add some salt and pepper to give it some more flavor. Now, because the julienne does, or the Sprelli does produce never-ending strands of vegetables, in this case it will be very difficult. So I'm taking scissors and I'm just snipping the pasta, or the vegetables that look like pasta, that are julienne, so that when we make our fritters, it will be easier to put them on the grill. Okay, so there we go. Super easy. And just mix it around. The next part is to heat the grill and to fry the fritters. Okay, the next step in making the fritters is I'm adding, while the pan is heating up, I'm adding some freshly cut basil to our fritter mixture and to some Greek yogurt, or you can use sour cream. I prefer Greek yogurt. And that'll be used at the end. And you can just mix the basil in. Then, taking small amounts, I sprayed the pan with some oil. And this grill is on 400, so it's a pretty hot grill. This is another fun way to add vegetables for your children or for your spouse. A fun addition to any dinner meal. And just treat them like pancakes. Super easy, super healthy. And in the sour cream or the yogurt, you can add dill, you can add basil, you can add thyme, whatever herbs that you like. You can add chipotle. And there you have easy to make vegetable fritters.